Good afternoon and welcome to Solent Sports News with Gianna Lowe and me, Peter Akamosa. Our first story comes from the world of football. The Football Association have urged police to do more about tackling abuse on social media following rape and death threats towards England midfielder Karen Kearney. Following playing and scoring in Chelsea's win over Fiorentina in Champions League on Wednesday, 31-year-old Kearney received messages on her Instagram. The user in question was removed from the social media site, with the FA saying it was appalled and dismayed by the threats. Kearney, who has won 133 England caps since winning her first cap in 2005, will not be reporting it to the police.
Lewis Hamilton could win his 5th Drivers' Championship if he wins the US Grand Prix this weekend. But despite being able to do so, Hamilton's main focus is to deliver.
This weekend or the next, or we're not focusing on ifs, we're focusing on making sure that we deliver. There's still 100 points available, so we can just never be complacent in life and in the championship as intense as this. You know, we expect Ferrari to punch back hard here this weekend, and so we can't be relaxed in any way, shape or form. We've got to make sure we come here and raise the bar again. So I'm definitely not thinking this weekend how's it going to feel if we do the job, because I've got to do the job, and that just adds more pressure, and you just don't need more pressure. So focusing on trying to make sure that I drive the best that I've driven all year long, and we get the car where we need to get it. It's going to be wet, I think, all day tomorrow, as far as I've heard, and potentially on Saturday. So it's going to be a tricky weekend. So nothing is given.
LeBron James had his LA Lakers season debut spoiled as they fell to the Portland Trail Blazers 128 to 119. LeBron scored 26 points, only being outscored by Damian Lillard, who scored 28. James played 37 minutes in total, contributing 12 rebounds and 6 assists. The Lakers will next face the top contenders, Houston Warriors, on Sunday.
The most lucrative contract in the history of sport has just been signed this week. Fresh off the back of his controversial decision win against Gennady Golovkin last month, unified middleweight champion of the world, Saul Alvarez, has now signed a deal with streaming service DAZN. The deal has been announced following HBO's withdrawal from boxing coverage after 2018, and the Mexican, who has lost only once in his 53-fight career, is reported to be earning £270 million over a 5-year period. The deal catapults Canelo into the spot of being the world's highest-paid athlete, overtaking baseball player Giancarlo Stanton by a cool $50 million. The contract includes 11 fights, which will commence on December 15th, when Alvarez faces off against super middleweight WBA champion Rocky Fielding.
Here at Solent University, we have a first-year student, Mohammed, who is being compared to Sir Mo Farah. Our reporter, Jed Barber, has a story.
Mohammed, one of the rising stars in the British athletics, has aspirations of being in the Olympics. The British runner is on a high-performance scholarship at Solent University. Mohammed faces the challenge of juggling training while studying for sports coaching and development degree.
It's hard to be an athlete. I'm kind of full-time athlete and full-time student, but as manager I've been managing by getting support by HPA. HPA is a high performance academy. They help me with, if I need any support, they help me with it, with my trainings. Yeah, I think it's manageable for me.
Peter Haynes, Mohammed's coach, says he works closely with the university to get the best out of his athlete.
It's difficult sometimes, obviously, because I want him to, do his athletics, but we've got to obviously be aware of what's going on down at Solent. I've got quite a good relationship with the couple of people down at the university, so we work hand in hand, making sure Mohammed is getting the best of both worlds.
The long-distance runner swapped Ethiopia for Southampton when he was just 14. He was exposed to a different culture. Mohammed says it was a challenge adapting his style of living.
It took me a hard time to get used to the country, but now I'm used to it. This is my country. Been developing over the last 9 years, so it's a bit hard to live in this country, but it's a bit different.
Having won the Under-23 cross-country championships in March, Mohammed has now qualified to the British athletic squad. 2019 is an exciting year for him as he prepares to compete in the World Championships in Qatar.
The World Championship next year it's going to be my first experience on track. The target I knew that I'm going to achieve, so I definitely want something out of it, and I want to be any athlete. I want to be the best athlete.
Mohammed will try to emulate his idol Mo Farah by winning gold. However, is quick to play down any comparisons between the two.
Mo Farah is Mo Farah, I'm Mohammed. So it means that there's only one Mo, there's Mohammed. There's only Mohammed. So I know that I can beat him.
The man's so good, they named him twice. Hopes to surpass the double Olympic champion one day.
Women's basketball at Solent University has enjoyed a winning start to their new season. Our reporter Adam Holmes has been speaking to Team Solent Kestrels.
Kestrels have been hitting the target so far this season. Unbeaten in the Bucks League and joint top of the National League, team morale is at an all-time high. Victory in the last match against Exeter rocketed the confidence of the team as they not only gained 3 points but ended Exeter's 9-game winning streak. Armed with a new wave of players to add to the team and experience on their side, head coach CJ Lee isn't surprised by their early success this campaign.
We've got a really good group of players. So we've got players that have been in the programme for maybe 2, 3, even 4 years, as well as some talented players that we've brought in this year that we've recruited. So yeah, we're a really kind of strong outfit, pretty balanced. We're getting in shape as well. So yeah, I think that's why we're competing.
The Kestrels will need to be together in their next game as the current Bucks champions and local rivals Bournemouth travel to St Mary's on Wednesday in the 3rd game of the season. It's not just a game of geographical rivalry, but also one of revenge as the Kestrels fell just short of the title last season to the hands of Bournemouth. Despite all of the pressure in the build-up to the game, Lee insists that his team are excited for the showdown.
Yeah, I mean, it does for me. I mean, I love those big games. It's exciting. Yeah, it's become a bit of a grudge match over the last few years. They've started to recruit players as well, so they're going to be a talented group. We haven't seen them play yet. I think we're both unbeaten in the league. So, yeah, I'm excited, and I'm sure the players are as well.
If anyone can lead the Kestrels to victory, it's American scholar Gina Gomez. The point guard was named the National Basketball League Division I Player of the Week and is in hot form ahead of the derby.
I really think because of my teammates, they're really trusting me a lot to do certain things, and CJ, of course, allowing me to do that. I think we're an experienced group with a lot of leadership from all types of areas, and I think that really helps our team be successful.
Things at the Solent Kestrels are rosy. However, this doesn't paint the picture of the wider scale of women's basketball in England. According to statistics, 6,600 members of Basketball England are female in comparison to the 30,000 female players at England Netball. Numbers like these highlight the growth that women's basketball still needs to undergo in England.
I'd say it's going incredibly slow. We're not catching the likes of netball, women's football. So there are female sports which are still seemingly more attractive than us. It's still, basketball's not played enough in schools. That's probably the main challenge that we have, is making that change of culture that school teachers want to teach the game at a young age. So it's not going quickly enough, but there are some really positive things. You know, the professionalisation of women's basketball in this country is really positive. So we are going in the right direction, but maybe not at the speed we'd all like.
The grass may be greener at Solent when it comes to women's basketball, and the Kestrels will hope to keep it that way on Wednesday against Bournemouth. Adam Holmes, Solent Sports News.
American football is a sport on the rise in the UK, and there were talks of an NFL team to move to Wembley. Hugo Butler reports on this.
American football has a viewership of over 17 million people every season, making it the most watched sport in the United States. The figures peak up to 111 million TV viewers for the annual Super Bowl. Across the pond, the popularity of the sport is continuing to flourish here in the UK. Solent are one of 40 universities in the UK that accommodate American football teams, and their Red Hawks side has seen yet another increase in participation ahead of the new season. Quarterback Bruin White moved to Solent just to play the sport he loves.
Yeah, this season's looking good. I wasn't here last year. I actually transferred from a different university that didn't play football, just for this basically, just to play here for the Red Hawks, because I've graduated from the under-19 academy down here, so I transferred from Epsom to come and play football.
After losing every game of the season last year, White has high hopes and feels good about what is to come in the new season.
This team didn't win a game last year, so they become relegated. So now we're in a weaker division, and we've got a stronger team than we did last year. So things are looking up for sure. Changes in coaching staff and all of that, and yeah, it looks like we're going to do good this year. I'm looking forward to get a few highlights.
The 19-year-old from Basingstoke has even got family ties within the sport.
Of course, my dad supports Chicago Bears, and Bruin is a name for a bear in children's fables, apparently. It's also Belgian for brown, the way it's spelled is anyway. And the UCLA Bruins, the NCAA team, that's on, of course, UCLA, University of Central Los Angeles, I think.
In 2007, Wembley hosted the first regular season NFL game outside of North America, and since then has hosted at least one game a year. This week will see the Tennessee Titans and Los Angeles Chargers coming to British shores to go head-to-head in front of a sellout Wembley crowd. The attendance for these games sees an average of 83,000 spectators, with the most recent Seattle Seahawks versus Oakland Raiders fixture attracting 85,000 people to watch American football at the home of English football.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It'll definitely grow the game here in the UK. I feel like the idea was more prevalent a couple of years ago when the Jags started their whole, ties with NFL UK and all the rest of it. You could say about the games they're playing here being increased. Although last year they played 4 games and this year they played 3 games again. But it's definitely a growing sport again. It's very big in the 80s, but it's definitely a growing sport. And I think there is a market, absolutely, for a team over here in the UK, definitely.
Whatever your opinion on the sport, the Whispers seem here to stay, and it would not come as a surprise if a franchise is formed in the UK in the next few years.
Last week was non-league day across the country. Earlier today, our reporter Cameron Reid spoke to Eastleigh CEO Kenny Amo to find out about this event.
I'm here at the Silver Lake Stadium, home of local football club Eastleigh FC. The reason we're here today is we are talking about non-league football, and the reason for that is on Saturday it was non-league day. I'm joined by the CEO of Eastleigh Football Club, Kenny Amo. Now Kenny, just tell us a little bit about what impact non-league day has on your club Eastleigh.
Non-league day has a great impact on our club. It certainly adds to our attendance on that day in particular. The exposure for having different outlets tweeting out or using their social media to talk about non-league day and encouraging people that perhaps wouldn't normally come down to a non-league ground to come and sample it, it makes a big difference to us, and it showed on Saturday with our attendance.
So yeah, I'm just looking at the attendance figures right now, and your second most attended game was against AFC Fylde, and since then the only more attended game was against Aldershot, and that was on Saturday on non-league day. So I guess the statistics just speak for themselves.
Yeah, they certainly do. I think even we were a little caught out by how many we had here Saturday. Aldershot brought nearly 600, which was a fantastic away following for them, even for a local derby. And I would suggest that we had 300 or 400 more here than we normally would. So it was a fantastic day with a real noticeably good crowd.
And because non-league day's been going on for 10 years now, I suppose fans must almost look forward to the event. Do you notice that there's more of a buzz in the area when non-league day's coming up?
I don't know if we're quite there yet. I think that it is noticeable on the day that there's a more of a buzz about the place. There's a different crowd. There's more people perhaps not quite knowing where they need to go and actually get a feel. There's a lot more people checking you out for the first time. But I do think there's a lot more we could do with it as a result. I think that even ourselves in previous years, we've perhaps done a little more in the lead up to non-league day, but with it being a local derby this time and being Aldershot, we kind of felt like the crowd would take care of itself and there probably wasn't the need for an extra promotion alongside it.
And I suppose it couldn't have come at a better time. You've had non-league day on Saturday, and then tomorrow you've got the big FA Cup game. So are you hoping that the non-league day with that big attendance will boost the attendance for your FA Cup game tomorrow?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we feel as a club that the more people we can get to come down and see the ground, realise it's not a tin shack with one man and his dog here, that it's proper football, a proper crowd, proper atmosphere. The more people we get to come down and see the games themselves are a decent standard. I personally myself, before I came to work for Eastleigh, I'd never really done a lot in non-league football. I could count on one hand how many times I'd watched my local team in Newbury. So I think that getting them down here is key. Once we've got them, we hope we can retain them.
That's all from us at Solent Sports News. Make sure to follow us on our social media on the screen now. Tune in next week. Thank you.